For years, I have tried to do bullet journaling, and I'm just a failure at it. I'm messy, and I always get the book all screwed up like in day 2, and then it pisses me off, and so I don't want to continue. Well, anyway, I saw at the end of, I guess it was in December, Andrea Chebelot of A Work of Heart was offering a class on her daily practice journal. I think it's called Daily Creative Practice Journal or something like that. Anyway, so I signed up for the class because I thought, this is so cool. And if I could manage to do this for a year, I would be really pleased with myself. This is Mary Beth Shaw from StencilGirl Products. I'm going to show you January's results from my daily practice journal. And yeah, I kind of did it in my own way. So let's take a look. All right. First, I'm going to show you the actual journal that I made. And I'm sure it surprises no one that I, was off the range. I veered off course from some of the instructions. But I think Andrea probably was fine with that. It's like, I just did what I needed to do for me. So anyway, when you open it up, I just am wrapping mine with a piece of sari ribbon. And you open it up, and this has a lot of options. It's a really cool book structure that she has designed here. I'm going to set those aside for the moment. But anyway, we worked on a piece of raw canvas and did this whole thing. And then you do have the options to carry it around with you as a portfolio. And you can stick just a few things in here. You can do sewing, but I chose not to do that. And so if I want to carry it around, all I have is this. And that is pretty slick, although I haven't gone anywhere. So, but all right, so my canvas is the part I wanted to really show you because I was happy with how it turned out. I used a lot of our stencils, as you can see on here. And I made my binding. I took this black, but I took this deep green and added just a dash of black to it, and then did a kind of a tone-on-tone look with my fairy tale tree stencil. I think that's my stencil. I used some others, some tree stencils. I wish I could remember specifically. I'll look it up and link it down in the comments which stencils I used. But I loved the whole process of layering up this canvas, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It made me super happy to see all these colors come together. I also used these fabulous inks that I got at the St. Louis Art Supply Store, and that made me happy too. So it doesn't take much to make this girl happy, right? All right, so there's the outside cover. Now, the items that I'm choosing to carry in mine are the month that I'm working in, which was January for this case, and then the year at a glance. Now, I made this just to keep myself on track and per Andrea's guidance, but of course in a Mary Beth way. These are all just on here with washi tape because I knew that I know how I am, and I will get it all crapped up, and I'll be mad at myself because I am specific even though I try not to be. So what I did was I just washi taped the month, and then I washi taped my specific appointments under it in pencil so that I can change them, and it's a moving little calendar reference for me, which is kind of cool. I like this gatefold. I have done a gatefold before, but not in this way for this purpose, and it turned out to be really fun. Every month is going to be like this. So every month will be a bundle of goodness. Now, most people, or the way Andrea teaches it, is this daily practice. So you work out a little, like a little part of every page for each day, and then you can use it how you want. Well, after working through mine and trying to figure out what I wanted for it, it seemed too duplicative of my other calendars, which I'll just show you. There's store-bought things like this, my 22-23 planner, and then I have a smaller version of it that I can put in my purse, and it just seemed like too much repetition for me, so I just decided to make mine all about the art, and that's what I did. So when you open it up, well, first of all, the whole cover is painted. And then you open it up, and this is my January. So these 2 pages go inside. We'll look at them in a moment. But for me, this was January. And I did this large spread. And these things are, as I typically work, you know, I embed things into all my collages, and the language I use is very specific to me, and it is meaningful for me, but it probably doesn't mean a darn thing to anybody else. And that's okay, because this is my journal, it's my daily practice, and it is what I need. Now, I should have had the Carolyn Doobie wrought iron stencil for that, but it wasn't released yet. But this is your year. Please walk on the grass. That's an important message for me about nature and about, you know, like tree hugging and that sort of thing. And then here, I know I wrote specific things that were very meaningful to me, and I could not recall them at the moment, but so that's that inside part. I forget the madness. This is about letting go of these pandemic ways that so many of us adopted, yeah, myself included. And I want to forget that. I forget the madness. I am outcast. Now, that doesn't mean outcast in a bad way necessarily. It means something else to me. So there you go. But I used so many of my favorite things building these pages, and I was happy to get back to the nuts and bolts of just playing in my journal with specific ideas. It was hard to spread this out for the month of January. I'll just be truthful. I got so whipped up about it. I wanted to do it like all the time, and I didn't have enough pages for January. But that's good. It keeps me longing. So here is this little folder, and again, I have things in here that are very important to me, and I got deep with the paint, and I used all the stuff, the pencils, the acrylics, the watercolors, layering them up in the ways that thrill me. The inside of it, a little bit different. It's all about green and nature here and going outside. Simply. That's an important spread for me. And then the other one that I did is this one. Has a lot of journaling in here. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll remember a day when I was writing and I was burning up my words. Yeah, well, there's some of them right there. Limits. And then, check this out, this cat. All right, so I found this book on Amazon, Cats in Cardigans. Is this the cutest thing you've ever seen? And it's specifically made for collage art journals, junk journals, decoupage, card making, etc. And I am just smitten with the imagery in here. So I thought that I would allow myself at least one cat thing a month, perhaps. I like this guy. He looks super rakish. When I cut him out, I cut his whiskers off, and then I drew whiskers back in because obviously I couldn't cut whiskers like that. But anyway, this is my daily practice journal for January. I hope you enjoyed seeing a glimpse. I'm going to try to do this every month. Fingers crossed. You know how sometimes life gets in the way, but I loved this so much for January that I can't wait to go further with it, and I hope you enjoyed this little view into my life. Thanks again for watching. I'm Mary Beth Shaw from StencilGirl Products.